see, this is going to be my January wrap up. January, I had an awesome month. I read 13 books, some nonfiction, which I'm not going to share, but I'm going to share most of my fiction. Started off strong with finishing the book the first day of the month, or on the second day of the month, which was actually listening to it on Libby, and it was The Crown by Kira Cass. This is the final book in the selection series, I believe. It was okay. I gave it 4 stars. Like I said, it should probably have been a 3-star. I didn't like the FMC, and I just didn't click with her. And again, it was a YA novel, and I'm not knocking YA novels. I read a lot of them, but it was kind of like, I wished I had stopped with the first 3. I enjoyed the first 3. That one, whatever. But I was just listening to it while I clean or drive or whatever. So anyways, but the next book. So I want to give an honorable mention because I didn't get a chance to mention this one. I don't know if I mentioned it in my beginning video, but one of the things I said in my first video was I wanted to read more Frederick Bateman. And I want to give an honorable mention because on the last day of the month, I actually read my first anything written by Frederick Bateman, and it was a short story, and it was called The Answer Is No, and I gave it 5 stars. I would highly suggest, it will take you maybe an hour to read it. It's like 60 pages long. I read it on my Kindle, so it was like an hour or so. It was so good. It was hilarious. It was society, okay? It was so society. I was like, this is like, he's not even from America, but I kind of wonder if, they deal with the stuff where he's from. I think he's from Sweden. I don't know what they deal with there. They probably do because, humans are humans, but anyways, it was a hilarious story. I was giggling, well worth the hour spent. I was really happy. So I just want to give that an honorable mention, but this is what I read, and it was more serious and dealt with a more serious topic. Check your trigger warnings. There is an essay situation in this book if you don't already know. And I really, really enjoyed it. It is a trilogy, and I am continuing the trilogy. If you watch my February TBR, you'll know I'm reading the next one. It's Us Against Them. It dealt with some hard subjects. I felt that he can write a book in a way, his characters are real. Take that as you will. Like, he doesn't write things like, how some people, you read books and you're like, well, somebody may or may not do that. But he writes human nature really well. Like, this was so realistic. I could see something like this very well happening anywhere. And that's a little scary, I will say. Unfortunately, it's true. So, I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4 stars, probably only because I did have a little trouble keeping up with the different characters at times. Because I don't think he did let me look. Yeah, he would change characters in the middle of a chapter. He didn't have the chapters, maybe I'm a little spoiled by that. Anyways, he would change characters. So I had a hard time keeping up. That's my personal thing. Besides that, really good book. Really, really loved it. So worth the read. Again, check your trigger warnings if it's gonna, I understand. So the next book that I read, and I'll show it, is The Unhoneymooners. And I gave that 4 stars as well. It's Enemies to Lovers. It's by Christina Lauren. Really enjoyed the writing. If you don't know, I've learned this, that Christina and Lauren are actually 2 different people, and they co-write these books, which is amazing. Because to get 2 people to write and to be able to do this to me is really cool. That's really neat that it's actually 2 people. So it's, I think it adds something to their books. I really, really enjoyed it. I will show a picture of it up here. Anyways, I gave it 4 stars. Really, really enjoyed it. So more than and some of the things that the main character, the FMC, dealt with and everything were really, it was also kind of funny too. She was kind of a little bit quirky. she was known to having like really bad luck and like a klutz and stuff like that, which I thought was kind of a cute little funny thing. So the next book I read was The Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. This was my first Lucy Score book. Whoa. Again, I was so shocked, and you're going to find this with a couple other books that I'm going to talk about later on. I was shocked at the depth. And maybe it's because I have dealt with some of these similar things in my life, so maybe that's why it hit me the way it did. But I was rooting for the main character. Again, this is not a closed door romance. It is a very spicy book. I used the closed door romance or cleaned up romance website. I've already said that a million times. But anyways, I skip over the spice. But the book was good without it, which means it's a good writer, I think. I think if a book is so heavily spiced that that's all it is, well, that's, there were some, very spicy scenes. If that's your thing, fine. But really, really enjoyed it. I think the cover, I understand the cover now. And I am so looking forward to reading the next book, which I talked about in my February TBR. Really looking forward to it. I haven't gotten to it yet. I'll talk about more about that later. So the next book I read was Divine Rival. Sorry, I hit my thing. This book, I love this book, and probably because of the time. Although it's a fantasy book, so it's not in our world, it reminded me of like the 1900s. There was no technology, and they were using typewriters, and that's a big part of the story. And I was just the timing of this book it reminded me of like World War II or World War One, kind of. It could have been a World War II or World War One novel if it wasn't all the the fantasy part of it. If you removed the fantasy part and put actual like countries in it and stuff like that, then this could have easily been, which I really, really enjoyed. So it had a little bit of a kind of a little bit of a historical fiction. Not really. I don't know how to explain it, but it was a really good read. Again, no spice, so that made I like it when there's no spice because it just makes it easier on me. But really, really enjoyed it. Again, I gave that 4 stars. So the next book I listened to, and it was called Assistant to the Villain. This book, I did not know what to expect. It's very quirky. It's different than anything I've ever listened to or read. It was really funny. It kind of gave me like a Minions kind of like feel, sort of like, because he's a villain. But anyways, it was a little bit, it was really good. I gave it 3 stars actually, and I don't know why. Probably should have given it 4. May up that to a 4. Maybe keep it 3. I don't know. I think I'm going to go with my gut reaction on that and give it 3. I am going to continue the series. I do have the next one on hold. We'll listen to it. And yeah, so I give that 3 stars. And again, these are not books that aren't all over the internet, so I don't want to bore you with long things, but it very Minion-esque. I will say that. So I really enjoyed it. And the next book that I read was And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. This is my copy that I got. I get these from the library. There's a whole bunch of them like this. I actually, one of the things that annoyed me about this, and has nothing to do with this, is this version I could not find on Goodreads, which I know this is stupid, but did not have the exact page count. I know. It was a little bit of it's kind of a frustrating little situation. Because I could find others in this series, but not this one. Don't know why. I don't know. Anyways, but again, this is a classic whodunit. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Clue, and I gotta say I didn't see the twist coming, and for a book that was written I don't even know when, it was really good. Again, it was no technology and stuff like that, which makes this book, I think it would be kind of hard if you just didn't acknowledge. Maybe it's not really. You know what I read, it kind of reminded me of Alex McCady's book, The Fury. I felt like I think he used this as his inspiration for that, because it kind of reminded me of that. So anyways, if you read that, then you probably will like that. I would say that for sure. So, the next book, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to skip ahead of myself. Now, I'm not ready for that yet. That's because I'm excited about that one. The next one was Yellowface. Now, the FMC was, I could not stand her. I did not like her. I think that was the point. Now, I feel bad when I don't like, I don't like the main character of our book. I don't think she was supposed to be liked, though. And if that is the case, then R.F. Kuang did a really good job, because I had no problems not liking this person. Okay, she really was kind of selfish. Well, not kind of, she was. But in the end, it didn't work out very well for her, so I'm just going to let that be. I'll let you read it. But I gave this 4 stars, and I think because the ending is what saved it for me. But again, I listened to this on Libby, so I think if I had read it, I don't know if I would have DNF'd. I think maybe I would have DNF'd it if I read it. I really enjoyed listening to it, though, so again. So the next book that I read was my 5-star. This was a 5-star. I have had so much struggle trying to read fantasy. Not that I don't love it, I just struggle so hard. And this book, I did not struggle. And you know what this reminded me of? You probably already know. You've probably heard it before. Beauty and the Beast. It kind of reminded me of Beauty and the Beast. Okay, it was sort of like that. And I really liked it. The ending was rough towards the ending, and I did skip over the spice because there is spice in it. But I was shocked at how much I enjoyed this book. I did not expect to enjoy it to the level that I did. And I am reading the next one. I could say this, we could trim some fat off of that. But you know what? I'm here for the ride. So anyways, this was really good, and I was so glad I started this, and I plan on reading all of the series. So anyways, looking forward to that. And I heard that there's another one, like a 6th book coming out in this series or something, or 5th or 6th, I think 6th. So I don't know when, but I heard that. Who knows? Anyways, I don't know if there's an exact release date, but anyways, really enjoyed this, enjoyed the characters, and this was a 5-star. Okay. The next book that I listened to this one on Libby, was Beaches, Bungalows, and Burglaries. It was another classic whodunit. It was clean, very clean. There are like 20-something of these books that this lady, I'm sorry, I'm looking up, Tanya Capps wrote. Kappes. Yeah. So I gave this 4 stars. The one thing I like annoys me, and this is just a side thing. Let's not act like we have a smartphone. Let's use it. Why do authors not use? Why? If the girl, she doesn't know something, go to YouTube. Maybe that's just me, and maybe that's the point. But this girl did not know how to use a Keurig machine. That's just a little thing that irked me. Things like that. She didn't know things like that. It was like, this book is not that old. Okay, it was first published in 2023. And also, a Keurig. I was just a little bit like, come on now. Let's not make her that dumb. Like, I don't know. It kind of dumbed down the character. I didn't like that. But other than that, it was clean. It was 5 hours long, so it was a quick read. I am going to read the next one in the series. I've already got it set up on Libby. And I did enjoy it. It was trying to figure out. I did not guess the ending at all. And the ending came, yeah. So anyways, the ending, it was really good. So I would definitely suggest, if you're looking for a little quick read, something very, whatever, that's a good one. And I heard somebody say that a quick read is being negative. I'm not being negative when I say that. I'm just saying it'd be easy to get through. Now, the final book that I read for the month was also a 5-star. So we're going to end on a 5-star, y'all. And it is The One with the Kiss Cam by Cindy Steele. Closed door romance. I don't want to say enemies to lovers. Not the right thing. The main character, the FMC, I so related to her situation a little bit. I loved the kind of like the back and forth between the main character, the male main character, and her. And I loved it. It had a really good ending. So I gave it a 5-star. I also laughed so much during this book. I laughed, and I also highlighted a ton of stuff. And I actually brought my Kindle or my Fire tablet, and I wanted to show you. I wanted to tell you some of the things that I read. Let me pull it up. But, you know, I really, like, I highlighted more in this book, and I've never highlighted so much in a book as much as I did in this one. I actually haven't even returned it because I wanted to talk about some of the stuff that I highlighted in it. Let me see if I can get this to do small so I can figure out where the okay, here it is. Okay, this is one of the quotes that I highlighted. I wanted to share it. Okay. And apparently this has been highlighted a lot of times. I think that's what that's supposed to mean, because it says 556 or something. Okay. Hope and fear like to think that they occupy the same space, but there's only room for one. And it's up to you to decide. What? This is a romance book. I think that's what's baffling to me when I'm reading these books. I don't know, maybe it's just me, or maybe it's just writing now. It's so much deeper. I don't think it's that. I think it's just, you know what? I think it's just me right now. But anyways, I just thought that was so good. Okay? I just thought that was so profound. Like, so profound. Hope and fear like to think that they can occupy the same space. But there's only room for one, and it's up to you to decide. I'm sorry, I have to read that twice. That's that good. And there's a couple other places that I highlighted, but I just wanted to share that because I just thought that was really good. Anyways, I really, again, enjoyed this. I will be reading more of her books. She does have more books, not in a series, but that was how I ended my month, my reading month. I ended it with a 5-star. So, yeah. So, I just hope that you guys had a wonderful reading month as I did. I look forward to the future of this channel, and I, like I said in the TBR book, a TBR for February video, I am so looking forward to March's, and then I've already actually started planning April's too. So I want to have like kind of themes every month. Like this month is love, so it'll be mainly love. I'll have an idea for April. I started working on that this morning. And my next video will probably be a book haul. I did get to go to one of my, my thrift stores that I used to be able to go to. We did suffer from Helene, so it's closed down. Well, this weekend it opened back up, so I got to go and get some books from there. And I'll be showing you that, and maybe I'll get to stop somewhere else along my travels and go get some more books. So that'll be the next video. Probably be a haul. I hope that you guys I hope you're having a wonderful day and a wonderful reading, and comment below what you're reading, or if you read any of these books, or if you have any suggestions, and like and subscribe.